Championship of Europe, Michaela Breeze, alongside myself, David Goldstrom, and you haven't missed any of the action, only the lifters' introduction, and we'll take you through that as we see them. The 75 kilo category, 11 3/4 stone or 165 pounds, and they're one of the real contenders. That's Maria Vostrikova of Russia. But in the category today, Moldova, Finland, doubly represented, Poland, Spain, and Armenia, and Turkey, and the Ukraine. And I think it will be the first of the two Finns to get us underway. This really new emerging generation of female lifters from Finland, which has got to have been, Michaela, probably, what, 5, 6, 7 years in the making?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think CrossFit has a lot to do with this. The popularity of the sport across Scandinavia. Well, we're seeing a lot of lifters coming through now and really becoming outstanding weightlifters in their own right.
So, Marianne Sahelo with 92 kilos on the bar. A good second attempt there. She did start on 88 kilos, but went to 92 kilos. And teammate about to start as well. So, Meri Ilmarinen, the second of the two Finnish women. First attempt, 93 kilos.
A solid opening attempt, just a couple of steps forward to steady herself. She's safely into the competition.
First attempt. Lifter to follow is Meri Ilmarinen, Finland.
Rabia Kaya of Turkey now coming out for her opening attempt, 93 kilos also. Got a big lift from the B group, 97, so this is not going to be good enough for the lead. But it's a good opening attempt. That will take her up into third place. Just see the replay. Good extension through the middle. Stands very strong. And just see great stability in the shoulders. No movement, no rolling. Well, the warm-up room backstage, the coaches are all gathered around the scoreboard, keeping a very close eye on what their competitors are doing. The lifters, they'll just stay focused on the job at hand. They've got one job to do, and that's to lift the weights. It's the coach's responsibility to make sure they come to the platform fully prepared.
Well, in today's competition, of course, we've got the defending champion from the Ukraine, Irina Deka, but also Lydia Valentin from Spain, a really popular and also a real achiever in the world of women's weightlifting. We've got lots to talk about her, but I think the most pleasing thing is that when the retesting of results from London and Beijing were brought in, it was discovered that the 3 lifters that were above her were all guilty of cheating. They lost all their medals, and Lydia rightly got the gold. So more of that when she's on stage. But this is Jolanta Wiór of Poland. 95 kilos, first attempt.
Oh, no, it's gone. Well, only the feet allowed to remain in contact with the platform. You can see there, try to save it. Want to be careful that the bar doesn't catch your heels in that position, but she's okay, absolutely fine here. You can see good extension, so close, just slightly in front, and that was enough to pull her onto her knees. Great float on the bar. You can see the bar still moving upwards as she was dropping under.
Well, a few more spectators in, and tonight should be interesting because Croatia got their top man in action in the men's 85 kilo class, so we're expecting a full house, and that'll be very welcome. As you can see now, Wiór from Poland having to follow herself. Nobody else wants 95 kilos, so second attempt. Jolanta lives pretty close to Katowice, European under-23 bronze medalist at 69 kilos. So has moved up and has stood up.
Yes, she has. That was a little more steady in the receiving position. Just watch the replay on this now. We'll see how much upward momentum she generates on the bar. She's not trying to pull it and tug it and shrug it higher. It's the power from the legs that gets the upward movement. There, the change in direction. She's so quick underneath the bar. Gives herself plenty of time to drop as the bar is still moving upwards.
And just to put this in perspective, there was a B group earlier in the afternoon, and Carlotta Brunelli of Italy, another promising young lifter from the Italian squad, 97 kilos in the snatch, 116 in the clean and jerk for a total of 213. She actually leads the overall competition in all 3 divisions at this moment.
That's right, and she followed herself in the B group, was head and shoulders above the rest. Shame she couldn't have joined the A group lifters here. Oh, left that way out in front. No. See her backing away from the bar as she went underneath, never fully committed.
Yeah, another of the Finnish group. She's, like most of the Finnish lifters, they all live pretty well in the south of Finland, not so far away from Helsinki. There is Rostrakova back in action. She's got married, got a 3-year-old son, and she was a very promising junior some 5 years ago, and we'll be seeing her. She's certainly got the credentials to do extremely well here, if not win the competition.
Yes, it's going to be extremely close, and I think Lydia Valentin, well, she's not going to have this all her own way. She's going to have to fight, as she always does, to contend for the medals.
Yeah, I talked to Lydia. She had a bit of a break after the Olympic Games, as you would expect, in Rio, and really took, you know, the rest of August down to December off, and has been back there for about 3 months. So it'll be interesting to see how she progresses. So Meri Ilmarinen now back on the stage for her second attempt at 97 kilos. Now remember, even if she gets this under the new rules and regulations, Carlotta Brunelli, she got there first on her second attempt.
Almost a power snatch. Maybe we should say a powerful snatch. Really good lifting by Ilmarinen. Just to elaborate on what you were saying there, David, the rules have changed. It's no longer if two lifters lift the same, the lighter person wins. That rule has been scrapped. And quite simply now, the lifter that gets to the weight first is the one that takes the lead. So if somebody has already executed the weight, then you're going to have to go a kilo more if you want to go one place up.
So Rabia Kaya now for Turkey. It's been a while since we've seen one or two of the Turkish lifters at the heavier weight classes. So 97 kilos.
Or not quite to be today.
97. Once again,
Well, watch the replay, you'll see that she throws her shoulders back. And that's enough to put the swing on the bar. Very difficult to steady it overhead.
And the situation at the moment is that Meri Ilmarinen of Finland is actually in the lead with the 97 kilos, ahead of Carlotta Brunelli. And this is an interesting point here for you to perhaps explain here. Now, Carlotta Brunelli lifted in the B group. She got to 97 kilos on her second attempt. Ilmarinen, she, lifting in the A group here, the medal final, got to 97 kilos, but it was also her second attempt.
And that is because Ilmarinen, the lot order that Ilmarinen has is number 91 compared to Brunelli, which is 93. Therefore, had they been in the same group, Ilmarinen would have been forced to lift before Brunelli, and that is the reason that she is in the lead.
Yeah, and that, Michaela, is one of the big questions, isn't it? Because the lot numbers are just thrown out of a computer at random. And as a result of that, one lifter at random has got the higher placing.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's where I have an issue with this rule, because I think actually if you're going to have a new rule like this, they've got to actually go the whole way, and instead of having random lot numbers, the lot number or the number that you're given has got to be based on performance.
It has, absolutely, and that is not the case now. It literally is the luck of the draw. If you are drawn with a lower lot number, you're called out first, you go into the lead.
And you could so easily lose a medal. This is Natalia Principa representing Moldova, European bronze medalist last year.
Well, extremely short through the second phase of the lift, just doesn't get the hip extension at all. Watch the replay, but this is far from a convincing opening attempt. It's not quick enough underneath the bar and leaves it out in front.
So, Sona Pogosyan now out on the stage for her opening attempt, representing Armenia. Coming down to 15 seconds to get the bar moving.
So solid underneath the bar, really lands fast on flat feet. That's exactly how it needs to be.
That 98 kilos, better than she lifted when she picked up the Junior European medal last December in Eilat, but she is capable of more. 102 kilos would be her personal best.
Yeah, she's getting close to the mark.
So, look at this, Natalia Principa actually not satisfied with the way the bar had been prepared, and so consequently doing it herself and using a bit of time, but not worried about it. And Still 30 seconds.
Well, she's in trouble now. That's 2 failures. And I've got to be honest, neither of them looked overly convincing. Neither of them have really been overhead. She's just backing away from it, leaving it out in front.
Yeah, so the situation at the moment is Pogosyan with 98 kilos leads the way as a result of her successful first lift there. So Armenia at the moment from Finland with the Brie groups, Carlotta Brunelli in 3rd place. But there are still lifters who've yet to start their campaign. Irina Decker, the defending champion, Lydia Valentin, multi-European champion, and of course Olympic champion, Maria Vostrikova, former junior European champion and a junior world silver medalist who's come back into training after starting a family with some pretty impressive numbers. And I think this will be very interesting between Lydia and her, and arguably Irina Decker, who is young and improving.
You know, we just don't know what they're capable of at the moment. This is going to be so close.
So Turkey, as I was saying a few moments ago, don't see too many lifters these days in the heavier classes, the heavier division from Turkey in the women's competitions. Tend to be more focused on the lighter classes.
Oh, Rabia Decker, she's fighting at the bottom. That instinctive reaction to compensate for any imbalance. You don't have time to think about that. That just happens. And she really did compensate well while she was in the receiving position. Good recovery, having missed her second attempt with 97, went up to 98. And here, just sits back on her heels before standing to finish the lift.
Now, everybody needs to get on the side of Natalia Prishepa here for Moldova, because this is make or break for her. She's the European bronze medalist from last year when she actually picked up 110 kilos in the first division, so she's well below her snatch personal best.
Well, that's better.
Well pleased for her. Always horrible to miss out on getting a total. She hasn't done. She's come back and recovered. Her limitations, well, her ambitions are limited, but at least she's on the board.
Yeah, she's on the board. You can just see how despondent she looked as she walked off, but this time fully committed, gets her body underneath the bar. You cannot lift these weights half-heartedly, and there she really gave it everything.
So that's the state of play. Still lifters to start. And there you have Vostrikova, Valentin and Decker still to open their accounts. So third attempt now for Mary Ilmarina. Now she's been pushed down to 4th place. This is a 3-kilo increase. This is for the outright lead in this opening snatch division.
Well, that's a shame. Really slow sitting into the receiving position. When you've got 100 kilos coming down on top of you, you've got to move a little quicker than she did there. It was a good effort, though. Not to be today.
Yeah, she would have got a new personal best had she done that, but unfortunately, as you say, not to be. So, Shona Pogosyan, second attempt, and this is a 3-kilo increase, so a fairly comfortable step on the second attempt here. Hails from a small town called Kasash, which is not too far away from the Armenian capital of Yerevan. Studying physical education at university, which is a pretty popular course in the sport of weightlifting. and some way from that.
Yeah, if you watch this from the side, you'll see that by the time the bar gets to the knee, she's already on her toes. It's a very small distance for the bar to travel, but by that point, you're already trying to correct the errors and the mistakes. As you come off the floor, you should feel the weight through your heels. Knees should come back out the way.
And I think she's going to have to follow herself, because if I look at the opening weights, Maria Vostokova, 105 kilos, Lydia Valentin, 110, and then Irina Decker, 115 for her starting weight. Irina, only 20 years of age, the Ukrainian who won this title a year ago when she snatched 115, then put a jerk together of 135 for a total of 250, which was a decent account given her limited experience.
That's right. We can just see the pictures we've just seen backstage. Lydia Valentin looking really fired up. Couldn't quite see the weight that she had on the bar, but she looked confident.
Yeah, I just put the 250 total into perspective when we see Irina, but now Pogosyan needs this 105, because if she has arguably a hope to maybe fight for an overall bronze or something like that, she needs to get these extra kilos right now.
Staying in contention is important.
Yeah, stay close. Well, it wasn't textbook, but she's going to get the 3 white lights. And a relief there, because that's given her the 101 kilos she was searching, but she's a kilo short of her personal best. And had she not failed that second attempt, I think she would have gone for probably 103.
That's right, but it's all irrelevant. You've got to make every lift count. You miss one, and it really could jeopardise your performance. You only get 3 attempts. The heaviest one is the one that goes forward to make the total.
So, Maria Vostokova now out onto the platform. Vostokova, 23 years of age. Her husband's a doctor in the sport of weightlifting, and that's a pretty straightforward start. Well, back in 2012, she was a junior European champion in this weight class. And she's also been a junior world silver medalist. But I think most relevantly, in August of last year, when she started to come back into the competition, then she went 112, 136, 248 for her personal best. And in February, tuning up for this competition, 107 kilos, 130, 237. So you would expect her to improve on those numbers.
Yes, you would, and she started on the 105, so it gives her every opportunity. Well, you can see now she's going to 110. Gives her every opportunity to have a go at a new personal best.
So the appearance of Lydia Valentin imminent, but the bar has changed again, and Lydia's decided to go up to, well, she's on 112 now, so she's gone up 2 kilos.
Well, she's playing the tactics here. She left it on 110 until the last minute. Vostokova has gone to 110. Now Lydia said, no, actually, I'm going up. And what's happened is that it should only be 1 minute on the clock. Somebody hasn't changed the clock.
No, you're quite right. That tactic should have just cost. Vostokova should have had just about a minute, but she's got a lot more than that. Now, 110 kilos.
Well, that was good. Not as convincing as her opening attempt, but nonetheless, it's a good second, and she still has 1 attempt remaining to see if she can go past that 112. Great effort. See how deep she receives this lift. She's right at the bottom. There we are, nowhere else to go. Fights hard, good stability in the shoulders before standing up.
Yeah, 3-year-old son, Rustislav, Rustislav, I should say, back home. Not sure whether he'll be watching this or understanding this, if he's watching it on Eurosport in Russia. Now, there's Lydia Valentin. Originally, well, the family actually live in Leon, but she these days is a resident of Madrid, where the training center is for the Spanish team. She's the icon. She is the lifter who has inspired a new generation of Spanish athletes.
Well, she absolutely is. From an Eastern European country, she's kind of led the way in terms of winning medals on this kind of platform. And in picture now, your Olympic champion.
So, opening attempt at 112 kilos. This is well within her range. But do remember, she's had a break after the Olympics, so this is the comeback year, in a sense. 10 seconds remaining. 5, 3.
Well, easy lifting, pretty much a power snatch. And you can hear the coaches saying, vamos, vamos, as if to say, come on, come on, you're running out of time. 1 second left on the clock, but hey, who cares? She would have known exactly how long she had on the clock as well. As a lifter, there's a clock on the platform, you know, you take a glance as you come on, and you know exactly how long there is.
So, Lydia Valentin, and she was European champion in 2015 and 2014. She didn't actually compete in Norway last year. That was quite simply because she was actually getting ready for the Olympic Games.
That's right, and as a lifter at this kind of level, really you can only peak a couple of times a year, and she picked her competitions perfectly.
So, Maria Vostrikova, 113 kilos. So this is to just go the necessary 1 kilo ahead of Lydia Valentin. And just a reminder that the Irina Dekar of the Ukraine, the defending champion, yet to start.
Well, she's done well. That is a real effort to stand, and you know that's an athlete on their limits. Well, interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how her legs survive through the clean and jerk, because you shouldn't be struggling to stand with a snatch.
But just looking at her weigh-in weight, I think it's worth noting she weighed in at 71.55. When she was lifting 112 kilos in February, she was actually at 68 kilos 45. Sorry, she was at 71.45. So she hasn't gained any weight. And Irina Dekar now for the Ukraine. Junior European champion as well as senior European champion last season. 2016, a real progressive year. And that's a great way to start and go straight into the lead. And the only person who can deny her the gold medal is Lydia Valentin.
Well, this is going to be a head-to-head right till the end. Nip and tuck. Both have, well, I say both have opted for 115. Dekar, her weight will actually go to 115. It will automatically increase by 1 kilo. We're going to see Lydia next.
So you've got Lydia Valentin, 32 years of age, who's done it all. Again, again and again. Been competing internationally now since 2001, and then on the other hand, 12 years her junior Irina Dekar trying to take on, so to speak, the master of the class. At 115 kilos, second attempt. So again, Lydia just taking the necessary kilo to go into first place. The clock now at 15 seconds. Well, I have to say, she's looking as good as ever at the moment.
Well, the small step forwards to recover, who cares? At this level, it doesn't really matter how the bar goes there. so long as it does. She's just a little rusty, having not done a huge amount since the Olympic Games, but she's coming here and showing us why she is the lifter she is. Always fights to the end and will always give it absolutely everything.
So, Decker has got to come out and reply. Now, Decker, interesting, she's gone to 117.
Well, 116 would put her into the lead. She clearly feels that she's got more in the tank, so is going to be pushing Lydia.
So, Decker goes to 117.
Well, Valentine would have to go 118.
Yep.
To have a chance of that gold medal, with Decker still having one attempt remaining. So, second attempt for Decker right now.
And Decker has forced Valentine to go to 118. But it's not over even if she makes this. Now, Decker, 117. This is a new personal best attempt here by 2 kilos. She lifted 115 in Førde in Norway on her way to the title, the senior title. Oh, she's very good. Exciting youngster.
Well, a huge talent going forwards. Not
She's got an older, sorry, she's got an older sister who was in the sport as well, who was actually got her involved. Older sister Natalia got a bronze medal as a youth lifter. But I'm pretty sure already that she's the stronger of the two, shall we say. And Lydia Valentine now, well, 118.
Well, this is the correct choice of weight. This is the weight to give her an opportunity to move into the gold. She's guaranteed the silver.
Yeah, and Lydia will be thinking of the overall title. She won't be too bothered about this individual discipline. But, of course, Decker does have another attempt. But she will judge the weight she needs after Lydia. So, not expected, but Irina Decker, the defending champion, has got the snatch gold with one attempt to come, and already she has a 2 kilo advantage over the Olympic champion from the London 2012 Games.
Yeah, she does. On this could mean that Lydia is under a spot of bother and a bit of pressure. The bar was always in front. The right arm came out of lock anyway. She's not too far off. I guess a lot depends on what happens with this next lift.
Well, particularly when you look at the opening weights that have been posted for the clean and jerk. Decker posting 140 at the moment, Valentine 130. Now, I wouldn't read too much into that at the moment, but it is nonetheless an indicator of the well-being of Irina Decker. And then you've got Vostrikova on 128, I think it is.
125,
125,
coming in on.
So, Irina Decker pushing this to 120. Now, this would be a very useful 5 kilo advantage.
And it's there.
All the motivation in the world. That's 3 out of 3. Very well done. And I have to say, Michaela, there's more to come.
Yeah, it looks comfortable. Just goes about her business in her own quiet way. Comes on, lifts, gets off. Not fussed about anything else. Completely in her own zone.
Yeah, she only just finished high school. She's a keen reader at the moment in the hotel. I said, what have you brought with you to read? And Sherlock Holmes. Well, everybody has their own way of relaxing and taking advantage of those moments. But at the halfway stage, the defending champion, Irina Decker of the Ukraine, in the gold medal position by 5 useful kilos ahead of Lydia Valentine, multi-European champion. and Maria Vostokova of Russia on the comeback trail at 113 kilos, and she's 7 kilos adrift. So quite a spread in this opening part, and well, Irina Decker very much in the driving seat here, and on her way with a great first half to defending the title she got in Norway last year. Well, we're just about halfway through the warm-up here for the clean and jerk, so an opportunity to reflect on the best performances from the first half of the competition. So Vostokova on the stage, the 23-year-old Russian, and made 3 out of 3, so you can't complain, because you have to think that on a competition stage internationally, she's got to be a bit ring rusty, Michaela.
Well, she's done very, very well to come out here and nail 3 consecutive lifts. 112 was the best she had coming into this event. She's left with 113, so onwards and upwards.
Yeah, I think this is very much education for her, and the coach is finding out where she might be. Is she going to be someone ultimately who can really take on Lydia Valentin? This is going to be very interesting. And now Lydia Valentin. Well, I'm not panicking, and I don't think she's panicking either at this moment in time. But she now knows that she has got a real challenge if she wants to be European champion this year. Well,
she's a good 5 kilos down. That means she's going to have to go 6 kilos more than anything Decker does in the clean and jerk if she wants a chance of victory. But this is kind of the story of Lydia Valentin's life, always chasing somebody. In the past, she's ended up rising to the top because they have been cheating. So let's hope she can come out here and really execute in the clean and jerk.
Yeah, I mean, when you look back through her international record, it's amazing. I mean, in European Championships, she's been on the podium consistently since 2008, and, you know, victorious as well in recent years, in 2014 in Tel Aviv, 2015 in Tbilisi. So, and, you know, the Olympics, I mean, we talk about the gold medal that she was correctly awarded for the performance in London, but a bronze medalist in Beijing, a bronze medalist also in Rio. I mean, that's a fantastic competition record.
It's an incredible competition record, and I've seen Lydia develop through the ranks over the years, and she's done it bit by bit, kept chipping away, and she's really consistent.
But Decker, we have to give her full credit for what she did. 3 good lifts there, 114, 117, 120. That's a good little sequence. And Decker, you know, 120, that represents a 5 kilo personal best. And she seriously looks as if, you know, there was a few more kilos to come.
Oh, she looked very, very strong and very quiet, very unassuming, just gets on with the job at hand.
So 2:42. That's the time that women have to get ready for the first clean and jerk. We'll desert you, but not for very long. Stay with us. Well, a very good evening, as it is now, from Michaela Breeze and myself, David Goldstrom. We're at the halfway stage of the Women's 75 Kilo Championship of Europe. And Irina Decker from the Ukraine leading the competition, the 20-year-old who won the title in Førde in Norway last year. Both the senior and the junior champion for 2016, leading the legendary Lydia Valentin from Spain, 12 years her senior, and of course a Olympic champion and double Olympic bronze medalist, multi-European champion, and there's 5 kilos between them. Now on the screen there you can see the opening weights posted. Look at Decker at the bottom there, 140, 130 for Lydia Valentin, and Vostokova 125 kilos. But it'll be the first of the young Finnish lifters to start the second pass. This is it's Marianne Sahelo from the southern part of Finland. Now, she finds herself at the halfway stage in 10th place with only 92 kilos. But for her, this is very much about personal targets and an opportunity on a major television stage, and that's a fair clean and a straightforward jerk, and that's going to get 3 white lights.
Yeah, pretty good technically. She's done well. First attempt. It's always nice to get that total in the bag. She can now relax. Just go out there and give it her best. There's no real pressure on her other than the pressure she's putting on herself. Yeah, just leads with the chest, gets really good extension. Adjusts the bar off the windpipe. Split position there. Back leg a little straight. That's going to pull the hips behind the bar. Pretty good.
Now, if you are just joining us, just a reminder that there was a B group competition earlier in the day. Carlotta Brunelli of Italy, 97 kilos in the snatch division, 116 in the clean and jerk, very decent for a total of 213. She was the outstanding lifter in that group. Principa saved the day on her 3rd attempt in the snatch phase, and 114 kilos looks already a lot more comfortable at the clean and jerk.
It's a solid opening attempt. How many more kilos will she go on her second? We'll have to wait and see.
Well, that's taken her into 2nd place overall. She's now just a kilo in the overall title race behind Carlotta Brunelli, who I mentioned a few moments ago. And Jolanta Vior now just chalking up. And 114 kilos for her first attempt.
Jolanta really good overhead, splits the feet nice and evenly forwards and backwards. Very tall lifter, and in this sport it's a bit of a disadvantage. Extra distance to travel with that bar. She's doing well, and she makes up for it in good technical ability. Nice extension, fast dropping under. Really good underneath the bar. The hips are nicely underneath the shoulders. Shoulders under the bar. Job done.
And Meri Ilmarinen for Finland now coming out. 97 kilos in the first part of the competition. So again, playing catch up here, but there'll be quite a competitive fight going on between the 2 Finnish women to get the superiority. She was a long jumper before she was a weightlifter, like quite a few athletes coming from track and field. What was your best long jump then?
5:03, only at schools level, but I put a whole metre on my best long jump in just a year of training for weightlifting. Watch the right arm as we look at this, on our right. Yeah, small movement in the elbow. That's why one of the referees failed the lift, but it's a good one, 2-1. Yeah, this sport certainly develops leg power. Sprinters, rugby players, footballers, any sports, any athletes out there that require power in the legs, lower body, well, you want to get involved in weightlifting. Even if it's just out of season, develop the strength and the power. Take that then into the sport that you compete in or play. You'll be far more effective. I'm working with a lot of other athletes at the moment, trying to develop their power in the legs.
Sahelo with 118 kilos. Good second attempt, clean.
It's forwards, but she's done well to save it. When the lifters are in the split position on the jerk, you want to recover front foot, then back foot. That's the safest way to do it, takes the pressure off the back. But if, in this case, the weight is forwards, it's on your front leg, you've got no choice but to recover back foot first.
And if anybody in Finland's listening, but she's got a 20-year-old car which is just about to fall to pieces, so if anybody can come up with a car, she'd appreciate it. And Natalia Prishepa now for her second attempt. Now the first attempt totaled her up at 212 kilos. So she's just a kilo behind the B group lifter from Italy, Brunelli.
Short, she just about gets under it. Well, I don't know how many more kilos are there. That looked to me to be pretty much on the limit.
But it does take her into the lead. She's got one more attempt. And 118 kilos made. Just looking at her record, I mean, she was third in Europe last year, just double checking this. And she, in the clean and jerk, actually 130 kilos. So when you look at this and you look at what she was doing, she's clearly not anywhere near the level she was in Norway. Now, I'm not sure whether that's an injury that's happened to her.
She was holding her back as she came off the platform, so it may have something to do with that.
So Vior now for Poland. And this is a 4-kilo increase, which will take her to 213 kilos. Into third place overall. And the reason she only goes into third place is because Brunelli from the B group actually got to 213 earlier in the afternoon. So Vior pushes Meri Ilmarinen of Finland down to fourth place. And Ilmarinen about to counter-attack here with an attempt at 118 kilos. This would give her an extra 3 kilos, 215.
Marianne Sarkelo, also Finland, is next lifter.
Ilmarinen, the better of the two Finnish women in the first half of the competition by 5 kilos.
Oh, I don't think so.
No.
Even if she stands with that, it's going to be failed.
There is a very clear press out. Need to see that from the front just to illustrate the failure.
Well, tremendous amount of strength, but if we watch the clean here, she pretty much power cleans it and then rides it in. And then on the jerk, we watch now, never really goes to arm's length. It's always on a bent arm. And that's simply because she tries shoving it off her shoulders rather than driving with her legs. Very strong to be able to hold that position. The referees didn't like it.
Well, she does have one more attempt. Her teammate, Sahelo, Marianne, has also got another attempt. Just looking at what she's posted. Well, she's posted 119 at the moment. And Sahelo, just looking at weights, 119 will be a new personal best. She was a very light 75-kilo lifter, Sahelo, last year. And she's still light this year, 71 kilos 45. Now, of course, the body weights don't determine positions, but they do really have a relevance in terms of your actual strength.
Well, they do. Typically, lifters will train 2, 3, 4 or 5 kilos even over their body weight category. That gives them a chance to develop and gain muscle mass, get stronger. And then as the competitions approach, you lose a bit of body weight to make your category. And typically you maintain the strength. So an athlete that's training 4 or 5 kilos overweight and then dropping is likely to be a lot stronger than somebody who is naturally 3 or 4 kilos under the weight category. In a sense, you're giving away a good few kilos in muscle mass.
And I think it's going to be interesting to see over the next 2 days, tomorrow and Saturday, with these new weight classes for the women, the 90 kilos and the over 90 kilos, how the numbers actually stack up and whether really the performances are really any different to what was happening when it was an over 75 kilo class. But this is Ilmarinen out for third and final attempt.
Well, she dropped quicker, but the bar really buried her. Let's just take a look at the replay there. Was it an adjustment on the shoulders? Was it an elbow touch? Let's have a quick look.
Yeah, again, front view would be the most educational.
Elbow touch, if you ask me. Oh.
Well, interesting now because the two Finns are having a private battle and Sahailo has gone to 121 kilos to try and become the best Finnish woman of the championship here. So she'll have one attempt to do that, but before that it's Poland. Jolanta, as you said, tall and under 23 bronze medalist from the 69 kilo category. That was only last December. She's been as good as sixth in the Junior World Championship.
Interesting, she's only put 1 kilo on from her previous attempt, but this would take her up into second place. And it's a personal best again. And it's there. Great lifting from Jolanta of Poland.
And of course 119 also puts her into first place in the clean and jerk. So she finishes with 4 out of 6, 214 kilos. And when she was a 69 kilo in December, 69 kilo lifter, 209. Lydia Valentin in the warm-up phase.
Again, the camera's just a little too close. I'm unable to tell you what weight was on the bar.
So, Natalia Prichepa. She has 216 kilos. She has this last attempt at 120. But as I mentioned when she was out for the last attempt, she's well below par. When you consider this is 10 kilos below what she lifted last year. 10 kilos below a weight that ultimately helped the Moldovan to take the overall or the bronze medal in the overall championship in Ferde. Well, very much like the previous lift, she staggers around a little bit, but she gets there in the end.
She found a little bit more in the tank for this attempt, really gave that everything. More convincing, if anything, than the second, but you can see she's clearly in some discomfort right now. She was holding her back after the previous attempt. She'll be okay, but competitions like this where you're carrying an injury and you've just got to fight through, it's not a nice place to be.
So she enhances her lead, but I have to say, I mean, you've told me many a time, many a competition and many a year that you and so many of your fellow athletes in this sport are in pain for most of the time. So
there's nothing quite like a back injury, David, and trust me, I've been there. I know what that's like.
Yeah,
it's
I've seen
nice.
you in agony. But then on the other side, it's when you actually make your lifts and you get this huge adrenaline rush. And when you are fit, you feel really good.
Oh, adrenaline is by far the best painkiller.
So this is to be the best Finn. 121 on the bar. Big effort. No, not to be. And at the end of her competition, Meri Ilmarinen has maintained her advantage there. 212 over her teammates, 210 as a total.
Well, it was a good effort, just a little bit too heavy on the shoulders, and the clean has taken too much out of her legs. She has to work very, very hard to stand. And the bar sitting very heavy on the shoulders, struggling to get the oxygen in.
And the reality is that, you know, weighing in as she did at 71.45, I mean, she's got the opportunity, needs to gain a bit of weight.
Yeah, there's a couple of lifters in this category that could do with moving up in body weight. No advantage now for being lighter. You're better off weighing pretty much the full weight limit.
Now, Sona Pogosyan of Armenia, 4th place at the halfway stage, brings forward 101 kilos, got that on her 3rd attempt, 122 to open up here. Needs to make her lifts, not worry about what happens with the others too much.
Whoa.
Oh, well, that was strong.
Well, that's a power jerk. You don't see many lifters attempting a power jerk. Why not? Well, simply it's a lot further to drive the bar. So she's clearly strong in the legs. Stands out to the clean like it's nothing. And here really drives to arm's length like there's an empty bar. Super powerful.
And that takes her to just 4 kilos short of her personal best. And already it's Turkey's Rabia Kaya. Now, this is interesting. 122 going straight for a personal best, and quite an interesting uplift here, because this, by my reckoning, is 5 kilos better than she did in December in Eilat in Israel. So, decent question to start with here for the Turkish lifter.
Much more comfortable. Oh, no, I don't think she's going to get that. I think she let go before.
Well, they've come up with 3 white lights, but for me, didn't she let the go before the bar?
Yeah,
the buzzer?
jury have stopped the competition. The jury are going to overrule this, I'm fairly sure of it. But watch here, the clean was tough. She looked more comfortable overhead, but just relaxed a little bit too early. That's good. And there, bar's gone, that you can hear it. The jury, you can hear the jury saying.
Yeah, but still the signal was not given by you, so we will reverse the decision for a no lift because she dropped the bar before down signal.
Tina Byte, the president of the jury.
And you know what's great at these championships, David? It's the first time that we've got equal number of weight categories for women and men. It's the first time we've got a female president of the jury. It's the first time we've had a female technical controller.
I have to say, the 2 women who've been presidents of the jury here have been very sharp. They've been on the money. They've been decisive. They've also been quick in making their decisions and enacting them, which actually is important, because what it does do is it doesn't disrupt everybody else getting ready for their next lifts in the warm-up.
They've been very assertive, and I've been very impressed with the decisions that have been made, and absolutely the right one. We thought she had it, and then just at the last second, put it down before the buzzer. Schoolgirl error, and yeah, you can take a huff and a puff, but you're going to have to come back out and do that again. She's having a whiff of the ammonium sulfates just to try and clear the head, because she will be following herself.
Yeah, she's got 2 minutes.
And David, you said she's coming out here on 122, which would be straight in at a new personal best. I actually made a note when I was doing some research, and I've made a note that she's actually plateaued since 2012, and that's a long time to be pretty stagnant on the weight. So this is a sign that training and preparation has gone a bit better, and we would be expecting her to step forwards again.
She was in the Europeans last year. She finished in 11th, and that was 1:15 in the clean and jerk. So she improved a bit in December, but I hear what you're saying. Actually, the improvement has been, the graft is pretty low, pretty shallow in terms of improvement.
Well, good, pretty good level, but when you're not improving, that can be so frustrating as a lifter, and that is pretty much when the time comes to make some changes.
So Rabia. Now, the interesting thing, I think, for us to watch is how well she cleans this bar. What she does with the jerk much depends on how economically she does the first half. Well, that was right on the 30-second buzzer. I don't know whether that put her off, but I don't think so.
The buzzer wouldn't have put her off. That was simply the position. If we get the replay, hopefully from the side, you'll see how far she leans back on it. She's not explosive through the middle. It's more of a lean and a ripping out with the arms. And again, that puts a big swing on the bar, and that's why she's out of position.
We've got a side view? No, unfortunately, we needed a side view. And there you have the state of play at the moment, but still Dekia, Valentin and Vostrikova to start their campaigns. Decker, the winner of the gold medal in the snatch, 5 kilo advantage, posted 140 for her opener. Lydia Valentin 130, Vostrikova 125. And now a problem here because she shouldn't be in this position. Had she weighted with the bar and put it down correctly, she would already have a total and be sitting back contemplating what her second attempt would be.
It was almost like she was in training mode. When you're training, you kind of do the lift, and then almost before you recovered fully, you just relax and put the bar down, ready to go for the next rep. I think she almost forgot where she was for a moment.
Now, when those two failures happen, you really just need to wipe them out of your mind, visualize again, and be 100% committed to this. I'm sure she can do it, but it is the last attempt. Oh. What would you say? Was she?
I just think the position when it's technical. If you can get the replay from the side, you know, as soon as you throw your shoulders back, consequently the hips have to come forwards, and then there's a big swing on the bar. It's either going to knock you forwards or backwards, or hopefully you land it right. But there's too much room for error when you've got those technical problems, and that's really cost her.
So Vostrikova, 125 kilos, as planned. Lying in the bronze medal position at the halfway stage. So 125 kilos. Straightforward clean.
Oh, what do you reckon?
I think she might get that. I don't know. You know, the jury are sharp. Are the referees sharp? You know, I thought she'd get the 3 whites.
Well, do you know what? Funny that, because I was hesitant. I was thinking, hang on a minute, that was borderline to me. I thought there was movement in the elbows. To me, it didn't look like it went straight to arm's length. We'll see right now. No, I still go by my decision, but one of the referees turned around just then to look at the jury, and the jury went, no, you're okay.
Bogosian, Armenia, at the moment in second place. Now she's 5 kilos down. She's now taking 126, which is a 4 kilo increase. Second attempt. New territory for this second attempt by a kilo.
Is she going to be as strong overhead as she was on the first attempt?
Ooh, what do you reckon?
Well, clearly had to work hard, but so strong overhead. I'm just looking at the scoreboard, David, and Vostrikova of Russia has gone from 125 up to 140. I'll tell you now, she's not coming out at 140. She's playing games. She's going to wait and see what Lydia Valentin does, and then decide what weight is necessary to attempt to medal on the clean and jerk.
Well, she's got to factor in Decker as well. But, you know, if Decker can pick up 140, given the, you know, the 5 kilo advantage she starts with.
Valentin's just gone up.
Yeah, 135, so.
And there she is in picture. I think she's done with her warm-up. It's just a case of waiting and biding her time.
So you can see Vostrikova in a commanding position, certainly in terms of getting the bronze medal. And there you've got Decker and Valentina, and also, unfortunately, Kaya of Turkey having not got a total. And there is Maria. Vostrikova just getting back into a warm-up routine.
She is, and Vostrikova has just lowered her 140 back down to 133. And I think that is as a result of Lydia Valentin having gone up. So, tactics going on backstage. Coaches hopefully are staying switched on.
Pogosyan just going up 2 kilos at the moment. But maybe that's a good assessment, given how hard it was to get the clean at the second attempt. So this to finish with a total of 229. She's at the moment got 227. That's equal to her lifetime best. That was my concern, whether she could get the clean. Unfortunately, the answer is no. So we'll never know whether she could jerk that overhead.
To be honest, that weight is pretty much irrelevant. Whether she got it or not, she's already in the lead on the clean and jerk. That would not have put her into the lead on the total, so she hasn't actually advanced her position. And Vostrikova has already used 2 attempts. She can't do that. Vostrikova's already used her 2 changes of weight.
Yeah, I take your point, because she went 140, then came down to 133, now down to 129.
Absolutely, that's 3 changes. How has she been allowed to do that?
Well, at the moment, she's got away with it. But, you know, the fact is, she's out now. Once she picks that bar up, there's no going back, as far as the jury are concerned. So, 129. 4 kilo increase. Should be straightforward. Oh. Well, I wasn't expecting that.
Well, she's guaranteed a medal overall. She's currently only ranked 2nd on the clean and jerk. She is in the lead. Just doesn't have the legs to stand, and that's just a sign, really, that she's been out of training, hasn't had enough preparation. That will come, though. She's a lifter back on the big platform. I'm sure we'll see her develop over the next 12 to 24 months.
Yeah, that was just a kilo short of what she lifted in February when she was tuning up back at home in a national competition. And again, you know, her body weight, you can see there, 71.55. She's got... Now, what happens now? No, hang on. Hang on. What are we about now? Are you confused?
Well, how has she been given a 4th attempt? Am I missing something here, David?
I don't quite understand this. Well, no, this is her 3rd attempt, because this, where she put the bar up for 140, came 133, 129. So she failed the 2nd attempt. She's out for this last attempt.
She's changed the weight so many times. She's confusing me.
No, this is correct. I mean, you were correct about the number of changes, but this is correct about the number of lifts.
Well, she's done well to push through. Does she have the legs now to drive to arm's length? No.
So she ends up on a total of 238. And because of what she lifted in the first half of the competition, Vostrikova, that's a kilo better than she did in February.
Yeah, and Lydia has used her 2nd change of weight now. She's brought it back down to 132. Why? Well,
I think she's just being realistic as to where she is.
She needs to get a medal, that's the first thing. Get the medal and then go for it after that. So an intelligent call by the Spanish coaches.
I don't think Lydia's fazed by Decker at all. I think she's got her own plan, not just for this competition, but for the season ahead. And in particular the World Championships, because it's the world title that actually, that's the one big target for her. That is how to clean, and that is how to jerk. Stand still. She's got the total. There'll be no problems with that. 3 white lights.
She won't be happy with that, David.
Well, I know she won't be happy with it.
That was not the most solid of lifts that we've seen from Lydia, but she's in the competition. She'll take that as a positive, and I'm sure we're going to see her just go for it from here on. Nothing to lose now. She's guaranteed the silver medal. How close can she get to the gold? That was a really good clean, but watch the jerk. Didn't really split very wide, didn't drop her body very low, but luckily still managed to get it to arm's length. That's a sign of relief right there.
So, Lydia Valentin into the gold medal position here, into the lead in the clean and jerk, 247 her total. Just to give you a little perspective, I mean, when she won the European title in 2015, 263 kilos. When she won the Olympic Games in London, 265. So she's not tuned up to that level at the moment.
No, she's not. And as you said, she's got focuses on the World Championships towards the end of the year. It's important that these lifters do have an opportunity to recover, and she took that opportunity after Rio.
Because remember, she didn't total in Houston in 2015. And the best she's ever done in the World Championships was a bronze medal in Wrocław in 2013, when she totaled up 260 there. But Decker, who's come down as well, 3 kilos. She had 140, she's come down to 137. That's her only change so far.
Oh, squat jerk. And that's the problem with the squat jerks. It's either there or it's not. There's no room for error. Well, Irina Decker under a bit of pressure there after that failure. Could be the opening that Lydia Valentin needs. Clean was strong, stands no problem. You cannot afford for this bar to be slightly in front or behind, and here on her toes as she dipped.
So 137. Now, if Lydia makes this and Decker came out and failed again, Decker's 5 kilo advantage would be wiped out.
That's the Lydia we normally expect. Explosive and dynamic. Fantastic lifting.
Yeah, and she's now feeling very good because she's now turned the pressure around onto Decker.
She has, and this is what I was on about. She's got the first one in, she's made a total, she's guaranteed a medal, and then she can just go for it. And this is Lydia going for it. She senses that there's an opportunity. She's going to give it her best.
Every year, Lydia, as far as I can remember, has put Spanish weightlifting on the map. Year after year after year. But now Decker. So, second attempt. Now, if she gets this, then her 5 kilo advantage from the first half is restored. That was better.
Ooh, she's hurt herself.
Yeah.
Okay, Irina Decker right now is in a spot of bother, not just because she's missed 2 lifts, but she's also tweaked that elbow. Very difficult to let go of a jerk when you're in that position when it's going behind. That's a pretty dangerous position, and for those watching back home, I've got one of my lifters who's constantly hassling me to do this. Well, if that's not a good enough reason why you shouldn't, then I don't know what is. I don't want to watch from that angle.
Fortunately, she just let go in time there.
Well, has she? She's hurt it.
Well, I mean, it could have been a lot worse. That's really what I'm saying. She'd held on another second. And, of course, she's in a situation now where she has to follow herself. Although she's got 1 minute and 40, this is the state of play in the overall championship there. You can see Lydia Valentin and Decker there, because she hasn't made an attempt, has yet to get a total. So this is maximum pressure in difficult circumstances, and both she and the coaches have got to be intelligent.
I tell you now, David, that's going to have knocked her confidence. She's got to somehow come out here and commit to doing the same again in the hope that that elbow holds out.
And there's that sense of the unknown, isn't there, that she'll have. It's inevitable. You can just see there's a different change on her face there.
That's called panic right about now. 2 failures, 1 to go. Has to make this to make a total. If she does hit this, she goes into the lead.
Yeah, she restores that 5 kilos, and then it's down to Lydia to decide. So this is a tough moment in the 20-year-old's career, particularly when you're the champion and you're trying to defend your title. Well, she went to the bar positively, and she's got the clean. Well done. Oh, what a pity. What a pity. You see the hips behind there. I mean, you've got to give her full marks for the effort and the guts. Yeah.
Well, you have, but you've also got to question, did she need to go that heavy? She's in pain right now. She's hurt something else, I think.
So the title is Lydia Valentin's, and they're celebrating. And is Lydia going to come out and give us a final lift? I don't think so.
See here. That was good, good, good. Oh, she staggered there. Probably jarred her back a little.
Yeah, there was a twist. Did you notice that? There was a little twist. And as you say, that's really tough to take, because even though she's got the gold medal from the first half of the competition, no total. And Lydia Valentin, well, I don't think she would have expected to have ended up being the winner in this fashion. But she's got a huge fan club around the world.
We discussed this yesterday as well, about the weights that these lifters are coming in on. It doesn't matter the weight you start on, it's what you finish on that counts. And Lydia, she was not fazed by what Decker had planned. She stuck to her game plan, started lighter, and just kept chipping away. And she put the pressure on Decker. And hey, there's a champion.
And Lydia Valentin takes the clean and jerk gold, as you can see there, with 137. The stats for her, well, you can only beat the opposition that turn up to challenge you. So I wouldn't be too concerned that the figures that she's ended up here, 252, they're somewhat below what we would expect when she's really pushed and challenging for a world or Olympic medal.
Yes,
but having said that, she's come back into competition after a break, after the Olympic Games. She's ended up, once again, that's her 3rd European title.
While she may not be on tip-top shapes, she's certainly on tip-top form. She comes out and executes exactly when it counts. Great lifting from Lydia, European champion.
She's a smart athlete as well, isn't she? I mean, she actually gets the competition. She understands the tactics perfectly.
Fair play to the coaches as well. They've stuck to their game plan, executed perfect.
So Voshikova who ends up with the overall silver. And of course, whilst all that's been happening, of course, Pogosyan of Armenia has ended up with a bronze medal. And for Sona Pogosyan, that is her first senior European medal. And Vostrikova probably didn't expect to be getting a silver medal, but 2:38, it's where she was in that sort of warm-up competition back home in February. And there you have the overall commanding victory. And Prishepa of Moldova also subpar today. And Brunetti from the B group up into overall 6th. And there is Sona Pogosyan. A lovely surprise bronze medal for her. Well, there's the medal table. Spain now, you can see in 6th place there, 2 gold medals. Really good efforts by lifters from, as you can see, 17 countries now. And interesting to see Bulgaria in 17th place. Once upon a time, it was a very different story, but these are different days, and the intensive testing, well, it is beginning to work. There's a lot more to do, but you can see that at least in Europe, it really is taking effect. So just getting ready for the medal presentations. Tina Byte there has been invited to present the medal. She was the president of the jury. So I think we're almost set to go. And indeed, Mr. Bogdan Mokrinovsky, our very excellent public speaker, who holds all the competitions together in excellent fashion and is an he's encyclopedic when it comes to weightlifting and the stars of the sport. You can go back, well, you could go back 50, 60 years with Bogdan and he'll account for you the greats of every era. So as ever, it'll be the medals for the overall title that will be presented first, and then the individual discipline awards. Yeah, just looking at that medal table, well, Russia are at the top. Vostrikova's helped for that. Romania just underneath. France with 4 gold medals, more than Turkey. Might not have expected that coming into these championships, but they've done really well. Spain with no less than 6 medals. But these are today's winners. And in 3rd place overall, Sona Pogosyan of Armenia. Sona, just 18 years of age, clean and snatched 101 kilos, clean and jerked 126, made 4 out of 6 lifts and gets the bronze medal. Coming back into championship competition, Maria Vostrikova of Russia. 3 good snatch attempts, 109, 110, 113, and then just 1 clean and jerk for 2:38. But regaining the title that she last won in 2015, it is Spain's #1 lifter, Lydia Valentin. 32 years of age, 112, 115 in the snatch phase, 137 her successful 2nd attempt, 252, a modest total by her account, but a great confidence boost for her going forward, and now concentrating on the World Championships towards the end of the year in America. Well, I have to say that Lydia's pretty used to standing on the top step of the podiums these days, Michaela. But, you know, not only is she a great lifter, as you can see, she's got a great personality.
She has, and you say she's had many opportunities on the top step. She hasn't really. She's missed the top step, but been promoted to the top step, and it's lovely to see her actually enjoy this moment.
Yeah, that's the frustration, isn't it, when the back testing finds out not one, not two, not three athletes who actually cheated. And, you know, when we look at London, well, Svetlana Podobedova was found out. Remember, she was found out when she lifted for Russia. Russia said, you'll never lift in the Olympic Games. She found a new home in Kazakhstan, and then she gets done again. Natalia Zabotnaya, really good 75-kilo lifter, but again, illegal. And also Irina Kulesha of Belarus.
There are just no words for Lydia to express how she would have felt. She would have missed so many opportunities as a result of that, in sponsorship, in funding.
Yeah, but also that moment when you stand, you know, in the Olympic Hall and, you know, the world is your... Yeah, you can never get that back. Well, the snatch medals, of course, those going to Irina Decker, 120 kilos for her, and that's her memory, because of course she didn't total up at all. And now for the clean and jerk medals. And not only an overall bronze, but a very nice silver for Sona Pogosyan of Armenia.
She's a talent to watch. She's been coming through the ranks very, very strongly. She could be a threat next year for the top place.
So Lydia Valentin getting her second gold medal. So we come to the end of the women's 75-kilo championship of Europe. Lydia Valentin once again back on the top of the world, or in this case, the top of Europe.